helping them too. Uh, I'm at the age that, like, I know that I'm not going to be able to do wrestling forever, but if I can help and one way or another, and another person that wants to get into business, that's something that I'm willing to do. Um, whether it's with advice or whether it's suggesting place to go and train, or if somehow they decide to come to any of the places that I'm training right now and practice, more than happy to teach what I know.
When since Donald Trump has been in office, there's been a lot of hate and controversy over transgender people. Have you ever encountered any problems just being in the women's locker room?
Not yet, no so far, and because I also not very, like, people. There's people that know that I'm transgender, but there's some people that don't know, and I tend to not be very open in the locker room about it unless people ask me. But those that know me, they know that I'm transgender, and so far I haven't had any problems at all with anybody, neither with the women that are in the show, neither with the men that are in the show, and I'm actually quite happy about that, because I that was one of my concerns when I returned back to the business in 2015 2016, that I was going to get that was going to be a problem. Um, so far, I haven't encountered any direct interaction of somebody not liking me or not wanting me in the locker room. But I don't know. I mean, like, so far it's been a good experience everywhere that I've been going to.
Where do you hope your wrestling career is going to lead you? What's your ultimate goal?
I I mean, it would be nice if I could somehow make it to WWE, or at least to WWE NXT, but I don't think at my age it may happen. I'm already in my 40s. But definitely I would like to see if I could make it to Ring of Honor, Woman of Honor, because I feel that they have a lot to offer when it comes to women wrestling. And also I like the company too, and having gotten the chance to meet some of the people that run the company, I like what they're doing in there. So,
Is there anybody on a national level that you want to fight? Anyone in WWE or Ring of Honor, Impact?
and I'm not following Impact, so I don't know how the roster is in Impact right now. With Women of Honor and Ring of Honor, as I mentioned, Kelly Klein is one that I would love to wrestle against. Sumi Sakai, maybe, because she has a lot of experience too. That would be not only a way to show my skills, but also a great way of learning more about the business. And in WWE, or actually WWE NXT, I don't know. I mean, I haven't followed NXT lately a lot, but I know they have a lot of women there that I would love to wrestle if possible. Maybe Nia Jax, I will say, because like she's big as me, so that will make for a good match.
And where did you pick up your experience with whip handling?
That's a very good question, and that's an interesting story too. So I not only been involved in wrestling, but wrestling also opened my doors to getting involved in theater, and I began taking classes in stage combat in theater back in 2005, 2006, and I took the classes going to New York City. There's an organization that teaches actors how to safely fight on stage. It's called the Society of American Fight Directors, and they do workshops in New York City. They do workshops in all over the country, and so I began going to New York City to take classes there. And then I was also at the time getting involved with local theater companies in Albany, New York, in the Albany, New York area, and people began giving me the opportunity to teach actors how to fight on stage, and that's where I kind of overlap my wrestling skills and theater skills into an interesting path, because that gave me an alternative of, like, as you get older, I don't expect to be doing wrestling forever, but like at least theater will present opportunities for me to do other things that may not necessarily be in the ring, but also um, something different that I could reach out to people too. And so I began doing fight choreography and teaching actors how to fight in 2016. And word of mouth began running, and I got cast in a production of Man of La Mancha, which is a musical, and it's based on the story of Don Quixote. And in that musical, there's a character there that had a bullwhip, and I didn't want to go to a costume shop and buy a crappy bullwhip, so I decided to go to this website called Western Stage Props. I ordered a real bullwhip, which is the one that I used when I beat Christina Marie. That was one of my first bullwhips that I ever had, and I began teaching myself how to crack the whip. And once I got the first crack of the whip, I thought that, oh, this is really cool. Let me teach myself how to do more stuff. And I've been doing like stunts and performing in local variety shows because of that. And as part of the wrestling, I decided to bring my bullwhips with me because not many wrestlers were using that, and that seemed to be like a cool gimmick to do. And there's also history in wrestling of wrestlers that have used a bullwhip. I'm not the only person that have ever used a bullwhip before. But because of my background in theater, that's where I pick up the skills to learn how to crack a bullwhip. And now I just do it just because. I've been doing that since 2008, which was when I got my first bullwhip. So.
And you've also been seen at shows juggling and kind of a circus gimmick. Where did that come from?
Again, I just like theater, and at the time in 2010, I was going for studying acting and theater arts at a local community college, and I began getting interested in the circus aspects, and I taught myself how to juggle back in 1993 when I was in high school, and pretty much that's what's it. That's what's it. But then in 2010, I discovered the other props like the Diabolo, the Rolla Bola, and then the clubs, and I thought like, hey, I think I want to see if I can do that, and I bought my first pair of clubs, and I began practicing, and now I can do it like just because. And same thing with the Diabolo, same thing with the Rolla Bola, and then when it came to like to modify my gimmick, then I decided to go the circus way because I do like the circus. I enjoy the circus, and because of me being able to do that, I can incorporate that into my gimmick, and it's creates something totally different that people are going to see. Although I'm not the only one that has a similar gimmick, because I don't know if you have seen Future of Honor. There's been this tag team called the Carnies, and they also do a similar gimmick, but my gimmick is unique because I actually can juggle, and I actually have some circus skills that I do and that I use to market myself to the fans. One of the things that I'm doing instead of selling like T-shirts or things like that, I bring a tin can, and I wrote in the can, I put like tips, and I go around juggling, and I show people my juggling skills, and then I ask them for tips, and people are beginning to give me some money for that. So
we know you're going to be in Massachusetts on October 27th. Beyond that, where are we going to see PJ the Whip Gonzalez?
I don't know. We'll go whenever they want to book me. People can contact me. I got I'm on Twitter at PJ Gonzalez 39. I'm on Facebook and I will be more than happy to go whenever they want to have me. And I feel like my gimmick is unique. I feel like I can work as they want me to work, and I'm looking forward to help the promotions out there.
So you're a pretty brave person for sharing your story with the wrestling world. Do you have any final thoughts for fans who might be in the same position who want to get into wrestling?
Well, the biggest thing to do if they're interested in going into wrestling, find a good school. That's the biggest thing. Learn the basics. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about trying to learn a cool move that you saw a particular wrestler doing. Just learn the basics. Focus on learning the basics, because that's the most important. The ring psychology too, and then the rest will come little by little. But yeah, find a good wrestling school. Enroll in there. Learn as much as you can. Learn the basics, and then good luck. And the business for everyone. I think I saw on Twitter one time Cody Rhodes was asked if it would be okay for a transgender person to be in wrestling. Cody Rhodes was one of the few wrestlers that actually replied to a person and say, yes, of course, like wrestling is for everybody. So whether there's a person or a transgender person sitting at home and they want to get into wrestling, go for it. Don't let you being you stop you from doing what you love, pretty much, because life is short.
PJ, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you doing the show.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me, and to the listeners out there, thank you for listening, and hopefully I'll see you around.
There you have it, folks. PJ the Whip Gonzalez, very brave wrestler, very intelligent wrestler, and I expect we'll be seeing a lot of her around the area coming up soon. Just want to take the time to thank Chris Envy and Mike King for booking PJ the Whip Gonzalez on the Dynasty shows, showing they're not afraid to have wrestlers that might be different than the norm come on their shows and their promotion. So just want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll be back next week. We might actually be back with a bonus episode before the end of this week. We'll have more details, hopefully within the next couple days. So if you want to get in touch with us, our email is cnywrestlespodcast@gmail.com. Find us online on Facebook at CNY Wrestles Podcast. We're on Twitter at PodcastCNY. Make sure you download us on iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating. Hit the subscribe button. That really helps us out to get noticed. You can find us on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and wherever else you get your podcasts. We'll see you next week.